Hey, welcome to this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. I feel like I haven't had a hazy IPA in a while. I mean, it's probably only been like two weeks, but for me, that's a long time. So we are going back to Tripping Animals Brewing. A lovely stoned alligator on the label there. This one's called 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐩𝐩, 7% ABV, hazy IPA with Cashmere, Citra, and Amarillo hops. Tripping Animals is out of Doral, Florida, right next to Miami there. Pretty fresh canned on July 8th, so about 2.5 months old. Pour into the IPA glass, and just classic hazy IPA complexion. I mean, it looks like a glass of orange juice here, Orange Julius. Not much, well, I mean, definitely some foam on there, but not like a huge amount. Although it is, relatively speaking, sticking around. A lot of the last few hazes I've had have all just fizzled away like dish soap suds. Yeah, I would say this is definitely a juice bomb. And considering the three hops they're using, especially Citra and Amarillo, those are all just orange. So, yeah, this smells like a glass of orange juice. Definitely orange juice with like a little bit of pineapple or mango in there. I would not call anything not really grassy or spicy. There's like a sweet character here as well. I've been finding that a lot lately on the hazies. I get like a little bit of vanilla or something. That could just be from the malt base, but you're never gonna get like toastiness or caramel or something like that off the malt base on a hazy, or at least you shouldn't. So let's see what this hazy can do. Cheers. Yeah, that is pretty much everything. Just off the first sip there, that's pretty much everything that I expect in a hazy IPA. Very, very juicy. I said it smells like orange juice. It tastes pretty much like orange juice. It's funny because like most of the hazies these days tend to be very tropical with like a little bit of citrus, and this one's the other way around. This is mostly citrus with like a little bit of tropical notes. I wonder if this is supposed to be kind of a clone of Treehouse Julius, because like that's probably like the yardstick by which all hazies are measured, and one of the original hazy IPAs. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. Just juice, 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 juice. Although I was looking at Untappd before I started, and a few people describe it as juicy but dry. I was like, well, it's kind of contradictory. That's contradiction in terms, don't you think? I mean, it's definitely the flavor of juiciness, and like I get like a little bit of that kind of refreshing, almost pulpy quality. But I mean, again, there's no actual juice in hazy IPAs. It's just like the way that they're hopped and dry hopped for so long, and the selection that they use just gives it a juicy aroma and flavor without any actual fruit in there. There's not a drop of fruit in this beer. And despite them using 3 different hops on here, I mean, I pretty much just get the Amarillo. In fact, the first IPA I ever brewed was an all Amarillo IPA, because I remember all the way back in, I don't know, what was that, 2012 or so? I just knew, like, I recognized Amarillo on like so many West Coast IPAs and knew that it gave it an orange aroma and flavor, and I was like, well, that's what I want in my homebrew. Yeah, so this is like, I'd say this is like 90 to 95% orange, little bit of ruby red grapefruit in there, and a little bit of pineapple, and maybe a little bit of passion fruit, but otherwise just all orange. I will say that unlike most actual, or at least the old school first generation New England IPAs that always had like a kind of grassy, spicy finish, I'm not getting that on this one. This is just juice, and then it finishes, not completely clean, but just a little bit of like I guess you'd call it like a starchy kind of aftertaste. The actual bitterness, it's not low, it's not high, it's just kind of in the middle. I mean, by hazy IPA standards, it's probably on the higher end. I probably could have looked it up, although Untappd isn't always 100% reliable on what they say for the IBUs. But I mean, just going off my own judgment, I'd probably put it about 40, maybe. It couldn't be more than 50. I mean, it's got enough bitterness there to notice, but it's not like some of the like the latest generation hazies that are like 0 IBUs because they're all just Whirlpool and dry hops. You know, they at least boiled the hops a little here. Hey, look, we actually got a little bit of lacing. I'm actually impressed. It didn't completely fizzle away. Yeah, so lovely, sweet, juicy quality, authentic fruit quality, even though there's no actual fruit in it. The 7% ABV is really, really subtle. I mean, it's not completely invisible, but I'm not like, it's not burning, it's not distracting. It's working with the palate there. I like the malt base here, and you know, just like enough bitterness to like really notice. I mean, to me, this is pretty much a perfect hazy. I would have to like kind of go through some of my past reviews to see which ones I really like the best, but yeah, this kind of reminds me of like some of the best ones I've had from like Other Half, Equilibrium. What's the one out of Alaska? Anchorage Brewing. I've never had Julius, but I have had a couple Treehouse beers, but they were a long, long time ago. I can't remember. So yeah, I'm gonna go pretty high in this one. I'm gonna say 9 out of 10 for the Ever Haze from Tripping Animals. By the way, what did I do with that receipt? Is it on here? $6.49 for this 16-ounce can. I think that's a pretty good deal. Although I wouldn't be like in a rush to go buy a whole lot more, but yeah, this is like on par with, you know, some of the great hazies like Broccoli and anything from Treehouse, and like I said. Anyway, I'm rambling. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Whiskey Wednesday. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.